What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of Home Built Workshop. Today's episode takes us 1,800 miles away from my Colorado shop to my hometown in Pennsylvania, where my brother and I will be showing you some of the many things that you can create using horseshoes. Check it out. I'm going to begin this project by cleaning up a whole mess of rusty, crusty, and used horseshoes. I'm using rusty used horseshoes because I have them available to me. Now, you don't have to do that. You can go and buy new ones. It definitely is a lot cleaner and a lot easier to work with. One problem with the rusty ones is you have to clean off where you're going to weld. Now, it is really hard to get good welds on rusty material. That is the reason I want to try to clean these up now. You'll also see us doing some additional cleaning as we go, grinding things down where we're going to be welding it. Gives us good weld penetration, and the welds look a whole lot better too. So let's get right into it. First off, I needed to remove these rusted nails. This actually was quite a lot of work. I ended up having to clip most of the nails off and driving them out using a hammer and a punch. Ah, there's one. Like 50 more to go. I think this part will probably be one of the most labor-intensive parts of this whole project. Just getting all these nails out, getting things cleaned up, and then we'll be able to move on. Once I finally got the nails removed, I did a little bit of initial cleanup using a flat disc in my angle grinder. And with the shoes all cleaned up, this is probably my favorite part of this entire project. We are going to pack up the car and we're going to travel 27 hours straight back to my hometown to finish up the rest of this project. I am really looking forward to being able to do a project with my brother. We always have a lot of fun when we're working together, so let's get this show on the road. After making the long drive and getting things settled in at my family's sandblasting and painting shop, my brother and I got started welding up the first of several projects. At one point we had a bit of an assembly line going where I was cleaning up the horseshoes and he was welding them on. Ouch! It's kind of hot, but that quick, a nice little camping cooking trivet. You can put a cast iron pan or a Dutch oven or something on top of that. Cook it in your campfire.
Or you take a saucepan and put a candle on it.
A saucepan?
Or little saucers there. Your coffee cup, your fancy
little and put it in the middle?
And it's now right there with a candle on it.
It's now a giant candle holder. So there, two projects in one. Let's move on to project number 2. Next up, we're going to take a couple of other horseshoes and we're going to slice these along here, weld a piece of it to the middle of another horseshoe and make like a little horseshoe coat rack that can then be fastened to the wall, or you could make several of these guys and attach them to a board of some sort so you have a nice long coat rack. But right now, we got to cut these, weld them in place. Now, ideally, an operation like this would best be done with the piece in a vise, but this is an auto body shop, not really a metalworking shop, so we didn't really have some of the proper tools, but we're not ones to let that discourage us. Just try to work safely as possible and you can get the job done. In case you're wondering, we're using a die grinder with abrasive pads to clean up the metal before welding. It works awesome. How's your welding table?
Well, just a little higher off the ground. Coat rack.
You got a coat rack. Look at that. There's our little horseshoe coat rack. Ouch, it's hot. All we need to do is drill out these holes a little bit. You can screw them to the wall or to a board, and voila. Let's move on to project number 3. What's project number 3?
I don't know.
I don't know yet either. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna weld it up and you're gonna get to check it out. For this next one, I'm just arranging some of these horseshoes kind of in a pattern. Found a pattern where it makes kind of a star in the center. I'm gonna try to go with that. Just arranging some of these shoes so they line up the best way. Some of them I'm having to bend so that the ends meet up. Now I got everything fitting well. I got to take it apart, clean up the back sides, and put it back together upside down. This should be fun. Perfect.
Now a little bit more cleanup with the die grinder, and we can begin tacking this thing back together.
There's project number 3. Cool little wall decoration. Actually came out really well. A little cleaning up, maybe some spray paint. This will look really nice hanging on a wall. This may end up hanging up back home in the shop. We will see where it lands. Now, we're moving on to a 4th project. I am giving my brother free rein, and he is going to come up with something cool. Let's follow along and see what he's gonna make.
After a few minutes of trial and error and a little head scratching, I think Tim decided on a final design. Some of these horseshoes were bent and require the use of a big hammer. Each piece of Tim's project had to be fit individually. This meant individually grinding and welding each piece as he was going. And it's right about here that you can start to see his project taking shape. Every snowman needs a hat, so a piece of exhaust tubing welded to the top and then cut off makes an awesome hat for a snowman. And to close up the top of the hat, he's just going to tack in another fender washer. To give the snowman some arms, he'll just cut down some more pieces of horseshoes and weld them in place. Although Haley has some different ideas.
I think maybe that piece could go there.
Now, why would he have an arm in his head?
Extra arm!
A spare arm?
It's still warm. Careful, I just welded something. Oh, yeah, I feel that. And a little bit right there and there.
That's hot.
Ouch, that's the arm.
Thanks for trying to scald me.
And now we'll just finish welding a couple areas, followed by a good sanding to remove any sharp burrs, and this project is complete.
And here is Tim's creation. Pretty cool little snowman guy. Nice work on that.
Well, thank you.
I like it. So there we have snowman, cooking pot holder thing, horseshoe coat racks, and horseshoe star wall art. Pretty cool little projects.
It is.
Of course, you don't have to use old horseshoes. It's definitely would be a lot easier to use if you use brand new horseshoes. The metal's already clean. You don't have to worry about welding through rust and all that stuff. But still, if you have access to horseshoes, the sky's the limit with the things that you can make from it. Now I'm gonna pack up these items, and it's time for us to head back west to Colorado, where we will wrap up the rest of this video. So there you have it, guys. There are just 4 of the many things that you can build out of horseshoes. 5 if you count the multi-purpose giant candle holder. I think my favorite of these projects would be the star wall art as well as Tim's horseshoe snowman. I've also made several of these hangers before. I think they look especially good if you attach them to a piece of barnwood or some other piece of weathered wood. Thank you guys for checking out this video. Also, I want to say thank you to my brother Tim for taking the time to help me create these cool projects. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the little notification bell so that you get notifications every time I post new videos of cool projects like this. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time. Something's burning. Something got a little hot. Are you on fire?
I don't think so.
That's cool. I know. Trying to step it up a notch. I gotcha.